family. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Two wide receivers will be looking to be #1 targets on the field in today's game. It's Allen's Chargers going up against Stefon Diggs' Vikings. With that, let's get you up to a snowy Orchard Park. Enjoy the flight getting out of there tonight. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And Larry, to no one's surprise, guess what? It's a snowy afternoon in upstate New York as you get a live look at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Godden on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
As the Minnesota Vikings come out onto the field, we get a peek at Case Keenum. What a season it was for Case. Everyone knows the story, but 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. The way he went about his business and the success he had, what can you say about him, Charles?
All you say is this is a young guy that didn't just bide his time, but was ready to step in when the opportunity presented itself and show his best side. And he did it this year. I'm still stunned he didn't go to the Pro Bowl. But I think a lot of that was just simply name recognition. But the year he had carried Minnesota all the way to the NFC Championship game and was good enough for people to talk about a possible MVP at some point during the season.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
From the gun, it's Keenum. And his first pass is incomplete. Time to feature the offensive starters and to give some love to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
He's been to the Pro Bowl already, battled a few injuries, but he's back and better than ever. Has added a little yoga to his regimen in order to make him more nimble. That makes it that much harder for the defenders to catch him.
Second down now after the incompletion. Now Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Jaleel Adai's versatility is a big plus for him. He can match up against the tall receivers. He can match up against the short, quick receivers. He can cover inside. He can cover outside. And as an added bonus, he tackles well, too.
On On second down, Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Keenum. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that third down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw the little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On play action, it's Keenum. Over the middle, complete. That's Morgan. Now the ball comes loose and picked up by the Chargers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling right, the right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. The L.A. Chargers taking over on offense here in a second. They won 6 of their last 7 in 2017. You mentioned earlier, just missing the playoffs. And, you know, who would have guessed that they would have had a rebound like that because they started 0-4.
They really channeled what the 1992 Chargers franchise. They started 0-4 and ended up 12-4 and won their division. But they came close. What a valiant run. But they ran into our producer, Ben Ramsau's Kansas City Chiefs, in Kansas City late in the season. That one loss out of those last 7, that's the one that kept them out of the playoffs.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly didn't waste any time throwing some deep passes here. But the defense, it wasn't unexpected. They told their secondary, be ready. You're going to be tested all night by this team.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Last year for Keenan Allen, by the way, 102 receptions in 2017. Chargers record, he actually passed a running back, LaDainian Tomlinson, who had that record.
Yeah, running back and a Hall of Famer. 3rd in the NFL in receiving yards with over 1,300, nearly 1,400 yards. Played only 9 games in the last 2 years, but here's why I really like him. Clutch on 3rd down. Led the NFL in 3rd down receptions.
On 3rd down, Rivers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Second down, here's Keenum. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. And we're back to upstate New York after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They're still in search of the first down after that last completion. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
First down, Keenum got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. They go play action here on first down. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
He still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
On every snap, the defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Forbath out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. parlay. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints?
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Forbath to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So 1:55 to go in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. Yes. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft. Rivers on first down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. First down, Rivers. He's got it to Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Rivers now from the 50. And he'll get nothing out of that one. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Here's Drew Kaiser now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so.
Here we go now.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you... Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night, folks.